tonight. Homecoming is coming up. Find out how the SGA is getting students to get involved.
Plus, today is Halloween. Troy students got in on the costume fun. TrojanVision Nightly news starts now.
From the high-definition digital production center on the Troy campus, with news from Troy University locations around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Nightly News for October 31st, 2011. I'm Tyler Hatcher.
And I am Bailey Majors. Thank you for joining us this evening. Homecoming week is full of competitions to get the students in the Trojan spirit, and even though homecoming is 2 weeks away, the first competition is already in progress. The Student Government Association is holding a homecoming spirit picture contest this week. They are asking students to take pictures of how they feel best displays Trojan spirit and submit them to be posted on their Facebook page. The contest is part of an SGA initiative to get more competitions for individual students rather than large organizations. Vice President of Campus Activities, Nicole Acuzio, on how students can participate.
We're just asking students to take a picture of what they think best represents their Trojan pride, and whether it's on campus, wearing their Troy gear, and send them into campus events at troy.edu, where we're going to take all those pictures and we're going to upload them onto an album on our Facebook group, which is Troy Student Government Association. And then we're going to have people like the pictures, and whoever has the most likes on their picture will be winning a nice little prize for homecoming.
If you would like to participate, you can submit your picture to the SGA by emailing it to campusevents@troy.edu. The subject line must read 2010 Homecoming Photography Contest. The pictures must be submitted by November 4th. The pictures will be available for voting on the SGA Facebook page starting on the 4th. For more details on the contest, you can check out the rules in your Trojan Today email.
Veterans Day may be 2 weeks away, but the Troy Symphony Band will take time to honor veterans tomorrow night. The Symphony Band's annual Salute to Our Nation's Veterans concert will be tomorrow at 7 at the Davis Theater on the Montgomery campus. The concert will feature classic overtures, works by American composers, marches, and patriotic music conducted by Troy's Director of Bands, Dr. Mark Walker. Once again, the performance will be tomorrow at 7 at the Davis Theater in Montgomery. Tickets for the performance are $10. Free tickets are available to the first 200 military members, veterans, and their guests. Well, Bailey, tonight, it's the night little ghosts and goblins hit the streets in search of candy, but little kids aren't the only ones that can have some Halloween fun.
That's right. Tyler, students in the Hall School of Journalism relieved a little registration day stress by donning some costumes while getting classes instead of candy. We talked to a few students about their costume choices.
I've seen Janis Joplin, which was amazing. I went into the bathroom and there was a mirror in there and I saw Oliver Twist and it was amazing. Loved it. It was, that guy had his costume down. It was great.
Jesus. I wanted to be Jesus because I have dreadlocks and everything, so I figured it would be a nice fit for me. But other than that, Ninja Turtles is my favorite. I've been there every year.
I am Captain Obvious. This is my Superman symbol. I've got my cape, so everything
here's obvious.
I'm a zombie, and I chose to be a zombie for Halloween because zombies are really popular right now, and we've learned how to do scars and burns and just all sorts of trauma in my makeup techniques class. And I really wanted to translate that and go to school looking like a zombie and looking all beat up and all that cool stuff.
My favorite costume's got to be Superman. It's changing into a Superman outfit, like you're a regular person and you switch out to a Superman outfit. That's cool to me. So,
a friend of mine had this the pop stuff that you have in packaging that you like to pop and stuff like that, and he had a crown on. He went as a king of pop.
I am a Troy University majorette. And why did you choose to be that? I chose to be a majorette because I've always loved twirling, and this is my first year not twirling, and so I decided to just revisit my old hobby.
I'm a Mardi Gras person. Yay, Mardi Gras!
I mean, Halloween in J School is just amazing. With the food here, the bats, the decorations, it's great.
Once again, Halloween is tonight, so be careful of trick-or-treaters on the roads. We'll have some more Halloween tips for you later on in the show.
And now taking a look at news from around the state, Alabama's tough law targeting illegal immigrants has provoked concern among Hispanics and even caused some to leave the state. But members of other immigrant groups appear to be less worried. Mai Nguyen is a Vietnamese refugee who arrived more than 20 years ago in Bayou La Batre, the heart of Alabama's Gulf Coast seafood industry. She said there was some initial fear, especially among those who speak limited English.
A new study shows races for the Alabama Supreme Court last year were among the most expensive judicial races in the nation, though the spending was down overall. The study by Justice at Stake and other watchdog groups shows candidates for 3 states in Alabama's top court in 2010 spent nearly $3.2 million combined.
An Alabama district attorney says her office is ready to withdraw from the prosecution of a former Mobile County commissioner facing a new trial on the slaying of his girlfriend. Baldwin County District Attorney Hallie Dixon filed a letter Saturday telling State Attorney General Luther Strange she wants to close out our involvement in the case against Stephen Noden.
Still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, the Trojan volleyball team wrapped up their road schedule over the weekend. Daniel Percival will be in next in sports with all the details.
But first, Halloween is the biggest night of the year for costumes and makeup. That can also mean problems for some. Find out more after the break.
Halloween do's and don'ts, how to stay healthy through the holiday. I'm Sandra Hughes in Los Angeles, and I'll have that story coming up.
Nice. No! Come on! Oops. Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Moms everywhere are finding ways to keep kids active and healthy.
Works every time.
Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov.
If you can learn one thing in life, especially if you go into business, it's how to communicate and how to work with others. And I do think Troy taught me that.
Troy reaches out to people who they see their commitment to public service.
Troy just attracts students that want to give back to the community, that want to give back all across the world.
We want to educate the mind to think, the heart to feel, the body to act. We want to enable our students to go out into this world and make a difference.
Troy University, in class, online, within reach. Troy.edu.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
Trick-or-treating can give your kids more than a stomach ache.
Especially if they have allergies. Sandra Hughes has the frightening facts.
Jasmine Wright has sensitive skin, so when her mom shops for her Halloween costume and accessories, they make a special trip to Cinema Secret's Halloween shop in Los Angeles.
I kind of trust their products a little bit more than just going to the drugstore, but yeah, I definitely think about safety.
From the costume to the candy, you need to watch out, experts say, to pay close attention to many accessories like crowns, magic wands, and jewelry that can contain metals.
Nickel is one of the most allergenic metals, but also cobalt. And if costumes have various metal pieces, these can be of concern, causing rashes and irritation.
Halloween makeup can cause some freaky skin reactions, so if you or your little goblin plan on using it as part of your costume, experts say test it first.
Try it out on a small patch of skin beforehand.
Evelyn Jones had an eye reaction to the adhesive for her costume's false eyelashes. She has allergies, and so does her son.
The face makeup, certainly anything that's going to get you near your eyes, can be a problem.
And while some reactions can be serious enough to send your child to the doctor, most just cause rashes and irritation. Experts say food allergies are the real danger this time of year.
Some of the most common food allergens are going to be seen in Halloween treats: milk, eggs, soy, and particularly the peanuts and the tree nuts.
Jasmine and her mom found a solution to avoid irritation. Tell me what you're going to be for Halloween.
A ninja.
No makeup or mask required. Sandra Hughes, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And now Daniel Percival joins us with sports.
So Danielle, no football this weekend, but we did have a couple of other Trojan sports that were in action this week.
That's right. Football is kind of at the halfway mark, halfway through their season. We had a couple sports that were wrapping up their season, so there's still plenty to talk about. So let's get into it. The volleyball team wrapped up their road schedule over the weekend and improved their conference record to 5-6. The Trojans had to come from behind, but in the end, they finished off their regular season road schedule with a 5-set win at Florida Atlantic on Saturday afternoon. The Trojans, for the second straight day, fell into a 0-2 hole. However, they were able to overcome it as they denied the Owls their first Sun Belt win of the year. The 3-2 win moves the Trojans to 4-2 this season in 5-set matches, compared to just a 1-4 record last season. The win also gives the Trojans 15 wins for the first time since 2007, when they went 16-17. Troy finishes the regular season 9-9 away from Sartain Hall, as they will close out with 5 straight games at home. The Trojans are 6-1 at Sartain Hall and begin that 5-game stretch with South Alabama on Tuesday at 7 o'clock. And while the volleyball team was finishing up their road schedule, the soccer team was finishing their regular season in front of their home crowd. The Trojans had won their first 6 matches at home, only to drop their last 2. And fans in attendance were wondering whether they would get a trick or treat from the team. Dustin Carroll has the details of Friday's match.
Friday afternoon, the Troy soccer team wrapped up the regular season and honored outgoing senior goalkeeper Ashley Branham and forward Mary Morris as the Trojans took on Sunbelt opponent South Alabama. The Jaguars struck early when Sean Meach scored 2 minutes into the game. Troy would answer when Maddie Teakin scored at the 35th minute to tie the game at 1. In the second half, South Alabama would score at the 60-minute mark when Landy Wilson recorded the go-ahead goal to give South Alabama the 2-1 lead. The Trojans had many chances to tie the match with under a minute, but the USA goalkeeper made the save as time expired. Coach Chris Bentley says the team had their chances in the 2-1 defeat.
No, I think today we went out and competed pretty hard. We created some great opportunities for ourselves. Look, there was a couple attacking sequences that I felt like were some of our best this season. We just didn't finish. Finishing on those opportunities, I think, keep us in the game. But to be fair, I think both teams had opportunities on either side of the field, and they were able to finish a couple more than we were. So,
although Troy lost the match, Bentley says the team showed great effort against a superior opponent.
Well, I felt like today the effort was pretty good. They went out and competed. We let ourselves down in a couple moments here and there, but we're also playing against a team that's a little higher seed than us in the tournament today. So probably could have finished a couple chances and made a difference, but overall I think the effort was much better, and we can take that and carry it into the tournament.
Despite the end of the season, the Trojans aren't quite done just yet. Next week they'll participate in the Sun Belt Conference Tournament, which starts November the 2nd and lasts through the 5th in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Reporting from the Troy Soccer Complex, Dustin Carroll, Troy TrojanVision Sports.
Though the team has finished the regular season, their next action will be the Sun Belt Conference Championships, which begin on Wednesday. The Trojan cross country teams ended their season Saturday at the Sun Belt Conference Championships at Western Kentucky. While they did not finish at the top overall, several Trojans set personal records, including Alec Ham and Adam Weiss. Ham and Weiss, both seniors, finished their cross-country careers on a strong note. Agnes Capsoyo was the lone senior on the women's side. The Trojan football team is finally back to their normal game week schedule, at least somewhat. Sure, the team has had nearly an extra week off to prepare for their next opponent, Navy, but they will be back to playing on Saturday. Last Tuesday night, the Trojans fell to conference opponent Florida International in Miami and dropped to 1-3 in the conference. It was a tough showdown that took overtime to decide and had a few big plays, including a Tony Davis fumble recovery for a touchdown. And here's the man himself on how the defense performed Tuesday night.
We definitely just striving to get better and better every week, and that was a big milestone for us. We felt like we played really well that game, and we're going to look to continue from there on and carry it on to Navy this weekend.
The Trojans' next matchup is this Saturday in Annapolis against the Naval Academy. Kickoff is set for 2:30 Saturday afternoon. So Tyler, Bailey, no football to talk about today. Of course, we are kind of previewing the upcoming weekend, but congratulations to the soccer team as they are heading to the conference championships, and the cross-country team as they finished off their season.
All right, well, best of luck to both of them.
That's right.
Thanks.
Thanks, Danielle. So to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, more than 2 million customers along the East Coast are still without power after a surprise October snowstorm. That story is after the break.
But first, today has been sunny and breezy, but what can we expect for the rest of the week? Derica?
Well, Bailey, let's forget about the rest of the week. I'll let you know how your trick-or-treat will be tonight, later in weather.
Today is a special day. Today we gather as a nation and as an international community to recognize the selfless decision of one of the most influential women of our time. She's been recognized by religious figures and politicians around the world. To us, she's just Rachel. But to the rest of the world, she's the woman who, after having one too many drinks, chose not to drive home buzzed. Here today to honor Rachel is the family whose lives she spared.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, You're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
Millions are still without power in the Northeast after a rare October storm dumped more than 2 feet of snow in some areas.
The snowstorm is blamed for at least 12 deaths from accidents, falling trees, and electrocutions. Randall Pinkston reports from Upper Saddle River, New Jersey.
Crews are hard at work in northern New Jersey, using chainsaws to clear trees that have fallen on homes, on yards, and on power lines. More than 2 million people from Maryland to Maine are still without power 2 days after the unusual fall snowstorm.
The way things look, it's going to be probably a couple weeks before we're caught up to all this stuff. There's trees down everywhere.
There were some close calls.
All of a sudden, there was a noise and the house shook.
It shook from these 2 trees that fell on the Eckers home. A branch pierced through the ceiling of their home office.
Must have been pretty scary, huh?
No, the house went like this.
In many neighborhoods here in New Jersey, the first snowfall of the season caused more damage than Hurricane Irene. This brand new home will require major repairs after a 100-foot tree fell on top of it.
We have trees down all across the northern part of the state that have taken wires down, both supply wires, transmission lines, and lines directly to homes.
It's the same situation in parts of Massachusetts and Connecticut, where crews are trying to repair sagging or severed power lines.
It looks kind of like what I think a war zone would look like.
Hundreds of thousands of residents on the East Coast may not get their power back until the end of the week. Randall Pinkston, CBS News, Upper Saddle River, New Jersey.
Now Derek James joins us with weather.
Well, Derica, it's Halloween, and all those little ghouls and goblins are going to be running the streets today. What kind of weather can they expect tonight?
Well, the goblins might want to have a jacket tonight, but I'll get into that later. First, let's look at our campus snapshot. And as we can see, it looks pretty nice. You can see the sun going down, but it's still able to go out and enjoy, but make sure you have a jacket. But our current conditions, skies are clear, temperature coming in at 70 degrees, dew point at 39 degrees, humidity at 32%, barometers at 30.12 inches and falling, with winds coming from the north at 8 miles per hour. Today's statistics, a high of 70, low of 38. There was no rain today. Sunrise at 6:59 a.m. and the sun should set at 5:55 p.m. As we look at temperatures around the state, we see Huntsville coming in at 63, Birmingham at 75, Montgomery at 79, Troy is at 70, Phoenix at 68, Dothan at 71, and Mobile coming in at 72 degrees. As we look at southeast, we see that those temperatures are consistent throughout the southeast. Temperatures staying mostly in the 60 and 70 degrees, and some areas are actually seeing some 80-degree weather, but only about the low 80s. And as we look at the United States as a whole, we see that that's pretty much consistent for the whole U.S., with some areas actually getting as far as the low 40s. And along the Mexican border, they're seeing some 80-degree weather, but only mid-80s. So those 90-degree temperatures that we had been seeing for the past few weeks of the fall, those are actually about gone. And as we look at temperature change over the last 24 hours, we see that our area has came up a little bit in temperature, but it's still pretty cool. And so has much of the west. They came up a lot in temperature, but it's still only 40-degree weather. So they're still seeing some pretty cold weather. As we look at the current surface, we see that the west is seeing some high pressure systems, some cold pressure system, warm pressure system, and all that mixing together is going to be bringing them some rain systems, or actually some snow systems in the near future. But as we look close into our area, we see there's nothing pretty much going on, light winds, a few rain systems here and there, but our area is pretty much clear. And as we look over the next 48 hours, we see that our area is going to stay mostly clear. But as I said before, the west may be seeing a lot of rain systems, and some areas are actually seeing a mixture of rain and ice. So if you have to go over that way, you might want to make sure that you have your snow boots and your umbrellas. And as we look, Tuesday is going to be pretty dry, nothing going on in our area. Wednesday is going to be pretty nice, but on Thursday we have about 30% chance of seeing some rain in our area, but nothing too bad. And as we look into Friday, we see that that rain will move out and it'll be clear for our area. As we look at tonight's forecast, it's going to be clear skies, frost after midnight with light winds coming from the northeast at 3 miles per hour with a low of 38. So you want to make sure that you add a jacket to your costume tonight as you trick or treat. And as we go into tomorrow's forecast, sunny skies, frost alert until 9 a.m. with light winds coming from the northeast at 7 miles per hour with a high of 73. So make sure that you let your car warm up in the morning because it will be pretty cold. Trick or treat forecast, as you see, as we go into the night, the temperature is going to drop dramatically. So by 10 o'clock, you just want to be in the house with some hot chocolate and a scary movie. And as we look at our 4-day forecast, we see that the rest of the week is going to be pretty nice until Thursday when we have just a small chance of rain. But other than that, temperatures in the highs in the low 70s and the low 40s at night. So as you can see, Tyler, it's going to be pretty chilly out there trick-or-treating, so you want to have a jacket.
Well, I'm sure it'll still be a great Halloween regardless.
Yes.
Thanks, Erica.